On this particular video, what we're going to be trying to do is to extract the truth behind this particular video interview on Channels TV. And basically what this video is about is regarding the meeting or coming together of Southern governors in Nigeria. The Northerners are not happy since that particular meeting took place in Lagos. And this coming together is the first of its kind of Southern governors for a very long time. And this was also in response to the incidents, the invasion of Sunday Igboho's home, the killings that followed, the open grazing issue in the southern Nigeria where the Fulani kill at will, invade farms, destroy farmlands, and the law enforcement agencies are not being asked to do anything about it. You arrest any Fulani header that has been killing or kidnapping or murdering, and the federal government appear to be on their side and not doing anything about it. And this has actually raised an outcry by citizens of the southern Nigeria, and now the governors are responding in line with that by coming together, trying to fashion out the best way to curtail the incidents of killing and barbarism that's been going on by Fulani headsmen in the south, and also the actions of the law enforcement agency that is really unique to the south, because the type of killings that happens in the southern Nigeria is not happening in the north. I mean killings by the law enforcement agencies, not by the Fulani headsmen. The Fulani headsmen are committing barbarism in southern Nigeria, and the government is not responding to that. So now the southern governors, in their own initiative, for the very first time, decided to come together to tackle what I would personally describe as the southern issue, and now the northerners are worried. And their complaint is, why should the southern governors come together to make decisions that is peculiar to them? So the northerners are now saying, why should that be? You shouldn't come together as one people, because you coming together as one people is a threat to the north. It means that you guys are uniting. It means that you now want to work together, and that is not going to be to the interest of the north. So therefore, why should you do it? You should all just not argue with the president. You should just do what the president says. The president has taken a position which is in support of the headers and repentant terrorists. So why do you have to have a different opinion to that? So that is the issue that we're going to be looking at today. But first and foremost, let's watch the video, and after that, let's come back on the comment section and discuss about this video. Thank you.
I think the coming together of the governors of the southern extraction, to me, believe you me, is the very wrong way to go about issues of politics that affects the whole nation. Because the message here, unfortunately, is like ganging up against the rest of the Nigerians, particularly the north, by state actors who should be the ones that will protect and advance the unity of this country and ensure that all the parts of this country will feel comfortable by whoever end of the day will emerge as the president of this country. But if you go the way you are going, and you have all the things listed in the communique or in their meeting, it seems to be a kind of ganging up against the north. When you look at the grazing, you look at the insecurity, you look at the issue of politics 2023, how can we have elected officials, governors for that matter, coming out in this manner to emphasize things that divide us, not talking about things that unite the country? I mean, it beats my imagination. It is unfortunate that we don't have governors today coming together on issues of principle, that maybe that we are progressives or we want a progressive government in this country, or we belong to a particular ideological leaning and therefore we want to entrench that kind of politics in the country. But what we are hearing is that it's like these governors are not anything better than Igboho or Kanu or any person that is not elected to protect the nation. So I'm disappointed, really, to say the least, because by now, we shouldn't be talking about these dichotomies that have nothing to do with good governance. You know, you talk about North, you talk about religion, you talk about where you come from, and you are talking about fairness. I think we are getting it wrong. And the earlier these governors wake up to their responsibilities of ensuring that this country becomes stronger as one indissoluble, and one united country, the better for everybody. The way they are going will even kind of scare the North. And the North, don't forget that the North, in fact, controls, you know, the largest chunk of the vote that you want to use to become the president of this country. Except if they are talking about president of Southern Nigeria, not the president of Nigeria. You must act in a way that somebody can entrust his future, his affairs in your hands. But the way these Southerners, the governors in particular, are going, is not in any way in tandem with the intention of the founding fathers of this country. And if you look at what I think most of Nigerians, particularly the Northerners, will take from this is that we are out against you, and we want to make sure that we will retaliate, you know, whatever you have been doing to us, which perhaps, you know, nobody in the North really intends anything bad, you know, for the country. In fact, insecurity they are talking about, who is the worst, you know, who is suffering, you know, the worst scenario of insecurity in this country? It is the North. Who is suffering the worst case of poverty? It is the North. Who is suffering the worst case of unemployment? It is the North. So what for God's sake are you saying in that case? So please, let us behave as responsible state actors that are elected on the basis of advancing the unity of this country, not on the basis of dividing this country between the South and North. So 23 years, you know, everybody knows that. In fact, Sean, when you talk about fairness, and you look at the zones, North Central, where I come from, has not been given chance in this country to head the country in a civilian administration. All we have had, maybe from North Central, and everybody has had it, is a military junta. And the military junta are just people who they don't even consult anybody,
right.
you know, before they emerge.
Yeah.
So don't talk about fairness. When you talk about fairness, North Central should be given the opportunity to rule this country come 2023. So let us talk about how to unite this country. How to advance
the reason why I'm asking you this question is because you're a politician, and this conversation, politicians have this kind of conversation. I remember at the twilight of President Olusegun Obasanjo's administration, the conversation of where next the president should go came up. Even when President Goodluck Jonathan was in office, this conversation also came up. Where should it go? And I remember vividly that northern politicians clamor that power should return to the North. So why do you think it's going to make the North uncomfortable when, if you count the years, and after President Buhari leaves office, it would have been 8 years of a northerner, and there is this arrangement, an unsigned agreement within the political class that the power should be rotated, especially the PDP, be rotated between the North and the South.
The worst violators of the agreement you're talking about is even the southern, part of the country. When Jonathan was supposed to do only 4 years of his administration, when Yar'Adua passed away, why did he not stop at 4 years? Why did he go another 2 years and even wanted to have a third term? And the Southerners want to load it over the North so that, now they're telling us that it is 8 years of Buhari, so after 8 years of Buhari, it must come. Constitutionally, it's even under PDP, it's supposed to be 8 years of President Obasanjo, and after that, North was to have 8 years. North didn't have the 8 years. So when you are talking about fairness, why don't we be fair with ourselves when we are talking? So don't talk about fairness here. Talk about how do we unite this country? How do we ensure that we have a president that can deliver, for the people of this country? Where is the masses in all these discussions we're talking about? That the North, that it is now the southern part that will have the chance to rule the country.
There is another issue.
Don't talk about the masses.
Yeah, there's another issue that is very critical. So the southern governors had said that come 1st of September 2021, they set it as a deadline for the promulgation of the anti-open grazing law in all the 17 states of the South in Nigeria. What's your take on that?
This is unfortunate, Sean, because we had, like I said, state actors, governors for that matter, giving ultimatum to a president, and you want to have peace in the country. You don't give ultimatum, for God's sake. You don't gang up against your president. You don't, because they know that president has come out with a policy on grazing. Why can't you go back into your rooms? I mean, into political parties or some caucuses. Or
Engineer Yabagisani, is this a gang up? Apologies, please. Is this a gang up against the president? Because I didn't see the name of the president here. The solution of the southern governors is against the bandits and against the killer herders who they say are moving with weapons. And their solution is that there should be no to open grazing. That is their own solution. And why would you say it's a gang up against the president?
Nobody supports, terrorism, because I even look at it as terrorists. People who are carrying, guns without license or without the authorities giving you the permission to do that. But the point I'm making is that everybody in this country and all over the world knows that Mr. President has come out very strongly behind the issue of open grazing. So why should state actors that are supposed to be in the same party with him that are...
This goes to show you that the one indivisible Nigeria that the North want is one that power remains with them, the Northerners. The one Nigeria that the resources of the South is shared with the North, and the North takes the lion's share. That is the one Nigeria that they want. The one indivisible Nigeria that the North is in need of is one that they hold all the key important decision-making positions. The one Nigeria that the North also wants under Buhari government is where Igbo people are not part of the security architecture of the country, where every decision in terms of security that is made to invade Igbo land or to kill anybody in Igbo land has got no Igbo representative on it. That is one Nigeria for them. And that is the one Nigeria that they want. A Nigeria where the Fulani people are more important than the rest of the ethnic groups, despite the fact that they may be the smallest ethnic groups and the last to come into Nigeria, where their cows are more protected than Southerners. A country where herdsmen from the Sahel can come to Nigeria, kill Nigerians in barbaric nature, tote AK-47 and machetes, and the presidency will go at any length to protect them and justify their actions. They even said that one governor was heard, I think the governor of Bauchi was heard saying that they should be allowed to carry AK-47 to protect themselves, while the law enforcement agency is busy disarming even those who legally possess arms in southern Nigeria. That is the one Nigeria that the North wants. Okay? What does one Nigeria really stand for, you may ask? People that hate each other so much, and somebody is still asking about one Nigeria, or is still talking about one Nigeria. What exactly is it about? Is about what this one Nigeria? You cannot hold people hostage for your selfish interests. That should not be allowed to happen. You either restructure the country to allow every nationality develop their area according to their own pace, instead of holding people's future back for the sake of people that are not ready to make any progress. One Nigeria should not be what the Northerners want it to be. One Nigeria should be one of fairness, of justice, where people who are fast developing are allowed to develop at their own pace. Not when someone else's resources is taken so that other people can be having parties. So unfortunately, in view of this video interview, you can now see that just the mere unity that is coming up, or that appear to be happening between the governors of the southern states, is causing so much jittery and fear in the northern, or amongst the northern politicians. That is the simple, that's just to tell you that the day Southerners, the Yorubas, the Igbos, and the rest ethnic groups in the South decides to come together, come to their senses, and understand the politics of the North, and unite together as one, and fight their common enemy, then these current injustices and lopsided government would come to an end. So you wonder why there is a quick response and jittery amongst the northern politicians just by mere fact that these southern governors has come together. So this is now down to the southern governors and southerners in general. If you want to continue hating yourselves, fighting each other, while the North is sharing your resources, it's up to you. So this is a clear indication that these guys will do anything to make sure that they keep you guys scattered, they keep you guys hating each other, turning you against each other, because the more you hate each other and the more you are not unified, the more they will continue to control the power and resources that it actually emanates from the South. So you think about it yourself. Why should the North be worried that the South is coming together to ban open grazing? We don't want open grazing in the South, the governor said. If you want to do cattle rearing in the South, ranching, buy a land, fence it together, put your cows there, feed them. We do not want to have your cows on the street invading farms and family houses, and then if the people respond, you kill them, and the law enforcement agency are instructed, because Fulani people are at the head of the affairs of all the law enforcement agencies in the country. They don't want to kill their people. So now we're going to stop that open grazing. Then the presidency jumps and they're spitting fire, and all the northern politicians are spitting fire for issue that is in the South. So you think about it. If this is not enough to wake every Southerner up, you wonder what will. Thanks for watching, but please don't forget to subscribe to Wake Up Africa 360 TV. You also should like this video, share the video, and click the notification bell so that anytime we press new videos, you would be among the first people to get those videos. Thanks for supporting this channel. Until the next one, Tala.